Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly fix of fantasy football updates. This week, we're going to discuss Game Week 6 performance and look forward to Game Week 7 and what kind of changes that I should bring in, what kind of transfers that we're looking at, much more. So let's get straight to it. This is where my team currently sits in the rankings. So my overall points is 309 and overall rank is 2.6 million, and my game week points for this particular week was 58. So the average points was 48, and I did better than the average, but this week could have been much better for me with the way it started. So on Friday, like, let's begin with the first match, Aston Villa versus Leeds. I had the perfect start. Bamford got me 17 points, and I was really hopeful that my week could be great, but unfortunately it was just a game week where I had just above average score. So that was a bit disappointing, but I can't complain. I had green arrows overall, and my rank improved from around 3 million to 2.6 million. So let's get to the players that performed for me. First one, as I told about Bamford, what a match he had. He scored a hat trick. He was involved in the overall play. But I would definitely like to mention two players that I feel can get a place in your team if you have the funds and you are not looking at any transfer in this particular game week. The first one is Jack Harrison. He was absolutely amazing on the left wing, and especially in the second half when the Aston Villa defenders were tired and he had all the space to run into. And if you saw the match, there was a move on the 90th minute where ran down the left flank, and there were four players, Leeds United players, waiting for him cross the ball, but he did not. So those kind of areas where his decision making can be improved, where he can get FPL points, but definitely worth a look in if you are looking for a midfielder who if you want attacking returns. So for me, he's a direct replacement for Podence. If you see the fixtures and the history of Podence, he has got three blanks. He has got 3 points in his last 3 game weeks, and if he does not perform soon, he'll be replaced by Adama Traore. If that is the case, I think Jack Harrison would be the perfect replacement. Now, coming on to uh, Saturday, we had 3 matches: West Ham versus Manchester City, Fulham versus Crystal Palace, and Manchester United versus Chelsea, the big one. So West Ham versus Manchester City, I didn't have any players in that involved in that match, but a lot of players did have Sterling as a captain, as their go-to guy in that, and Sterling blanked. But after seeing the match, I can safely say that Man City do seem to be coming back on track with Kevin De Bruyne back fit, and in the Champions League as well. While we record this video, they've already played the match and they won 3-0, where Sterling provided an assist as well as a goal, and KDB also got 2 assists. So with keeping that in mind, I feel Manchester City assets are something to look forward to. My advice would be, if you have them, keep hold of them, and if you want to get hold of them, I would say if you can wait 1 or 2 weeks more so that you can see what kind of a performance they're pulling up in the Premier League. Now, one of my biggest disappointment this week was ruining of the Derek Mitchell clean sheet. So till 95th minute, it was going all too perfect for me. 6 points in the bank, and like probably some bonus points. But unfortunately, that Fulham captain Tom Kenny got the goal in 95th minute, so I was devastated. Like it's really hard to describe that feeling. You've watched the entire match just to get that one clean sheet. You have no way involved in the players or with anyone else. You're just waiting for the final whistle to blow. But alas, that was a dagger in my heart. So that is something like the FPL does to you. You're waiting for just that final whistle to get those FPL points, but unfortunately, I did not, and a lot of managers were frustrated by that, and and with the sense that Patrick Van Aanholt was on the pitch after around 70 minutes, but he did not replace the usual left back, which is Derek Mitchell, and instead he replaced the right back, Nathaniel Klein. So we're still not sure how the Crystal Palace team is going to play going forward with Patrick Van Aanholt back. Will he play on the left wing or left back, and whether it gives Mitchell an opportunity to stay in the team with Klein already there on the right back position. So we'll have to wait for the next game week and see how Crystal Palace lined up. And I think they have a tough fixture. They have a fixture against Wolves at Molineux, which is the home for Wolves. So the max they can hope for is a nil-nil draw, I would believe. Crystal Palace can hit Wolves on the counter, but not sure if they'll prefer that. Then and then the big match for Saturday, Manchester United versus Chelsea. I took a hit to bring in Marcus Rashford. I was thinking that he was on a roll. He scored the previous game week against Newcastle, then again in against PSG in the Champions League, and I took a hit. Unfortunately, again, it did not result. Did not give me a favorable result. The 2 points, he got a yellow card as well. So overall, a disappointing result as a United fan, as well as being a owner of Marcus Rashford did not give me any return. So that was also a bad week. And the most disappointing result of the day, the match took place on Saturday, Liverpool versus Sheffield United. Most of the field managers suffered in this game week, and it was a very disappointing game week for many of the FPL managers only because Salah did not work. I would not say he was the wrong choice to be the captain. As you can see, he just got me 2 points, and doubling that got me 4 points. And I would not say he was the wrong choice for being the captain this game week. He had many shots. He had a offside goal ruled out. Then he hit the post as well, so that could easily be in 2 goals. And all of us would have been looking at, oh, the great player Salah is in terms of FPL points. But unfortunately, it happens in some game weeks, and we just accept it and move on. And this is where the luck plays out. So in my mini leagues, many of the people had Son as their captain. Son got a goal, got 11 points, and captain the entire table turned. But Salah didn't. Next week could be other way around, or could be the same that Salah doesn't work and Son does. That is where the luck plays. You have to go with your gut wherever you feel that which player is going to work on that particular day and which team is functioning well. So right now you can see that Liverpool are struggling defensively. There's a lot of pressure on the attacking players to go and get those goals, so that might have an impact on Liverpool. Whereas Tottenham are flying high. There are two players, Son and Kane, like scoring like anything, and the team is a lot more confident than they were last season. So all these factors can be taken into account, and then decision can be taken. So I would say this was unfortunate, but I still don't agree that this was a wrong choice of captain. And moving on to the next day, Southampton versus Everton. I had two assets involved. In fact, three assets from Everton. Uh, Pickford, where I've lost hope from him getting a clean sheet. I think it was only the first game week where Everton kept a clean sheet against Tottenham. Apart from that, they have never kept a clean sheet, and it's just that I have more burning issues or I have other priorities to take care of, and I am not able to replace him. But he's going out of my team in the next couple of game weeks. Then we have Rodriguez, who was apparently injured before the game week, but he still started, and we're still not sure whether he's ready for the next game week because he might have aggravated his injury. But yeah, again, he blanked. Overall, Everton did not perform anything of note. They did not get a chance. Southampton played really, really well. The defense was really tight. They did not give them space. Even the ball was taken mostly. The position was also on the higher side for Southampton. And overall, Southampton played well and they deserved the victory. So points to them. Southampton assets of note again. There are two major assets on the attacking front, Jay Adams and Danny Ings. Those are performing really well, and if you have them, I would say keep hold of them. And on the defensive side, I would say McCarthy is your goalkeeper. Now he has performed, I think he has three clean sheets in the last four game weeks. And Westergaard is there, Kyle Walker-Peters is there, who are 4.5 million defenders, and like you get a good amount of. I think they are valued value defenders, and you can keep them in that. They're just like Lamptey, but better than Lamptey in terms of clean sheet. So if you have them, I would say keep them, and if you don't, you can think of, if you don't have any other issues, you can think of getting. Then the last match was Wolves versus Newcastle. I had two assets in was Jimenez and Mensais, and this is where I I personally got slightly lucky. Jimenez got his customary goal in every game. He does that every game, so that was, although he did not get the goal until 80th minute, but yeah, that was good to see. But Romain Saiz got substituted in, I think, 70th minute and preserved his clean sheet because Newcastle scored in the 89th minute. That was that was fortunate for me. Otherwise, I would have lost around 5 points definitely from this asset as well. But one thing I would like to discuss around Wolves is that they're not the team of last season. Definitely not the team. So they're defensively they're good, and especially against weaker teams, can expect them to keep a clean sheet, but they're not going to score a lot of goals. With the departure of Matt Doherty and who's went to and Johnny, Jimenez is not getting the type of service that he got last year. So definitely I expect them to score less goals, and until now, they had a reasonable run of fixtures. Even the next game is against Crystal Palace, so that is also a favorable fixture. But on attacking front, I would not Bulls assets for long. Have them, I would say, in the next couple of weeks, make out a plan to get rid of Jimenez. If you want to direct swap, Danny Ings is your man. If you want to go upside, you have Harry Kane or you have Timo Werner. I'll still stay away from Timo Werner because Chelsea right now is not able to find a balance between uh, de their defense and their attack. So if they are going attack, they are having a game like Southampton, 3-all draw, right? So the defense is absolute shambles. They're trying to defend. They have two nil-nil draws against Sevilla and Man United. So that is where Lampard is struggling right now, and I'm not sure whether you need a Chelsea asset right now in terms of attacking. But yes, we'll have to again wait and watch with the Chelsea assets. Yeah, that is about Chelsea asset. Now, Arsenal against Leicester. I think Arsenal played really well in the first half, and but in the second half they were really dull. And Leicester had a game plan that until 60 minutes they're going to defend, they'll try to keep nil-nil, and then unleash Jamie Vardy, who was back from injury, and unleash their dead. So, and if you saw the goal, a really, really good pass from Tielemans, who had done nothing in the entire game, but he had really played a good pass, and that Turkish international Under gave a great cut back to Jamie Vardy, who was on the line to score the goal. And he always does against Arsenal. He has that streak against them. So that was really commendable from Brendan Rodgers. That was really commendable from Brendan Rodgers, and their strategy worked and their plan worked. They should be happy with the 3 points. I had no notable assets from both the teams. Justin was on my bench, got 6 points. I was frustrated that I did not have the playing 11, but against Arsenal at home, I never fancied him to get a clean sheet, so I don't regret that decision. It's just that the luck did not turn in my favor. Then again, Brighton against West Brom, Lamptey was in my team. I was getting a clean sheet until say 80th minute, and then again West Brom scored. So similar thing happened with me in terms of Lamptey and Mitchell, but West Brom were knocking on the door throughout the game, and I was hoping that they get a Brighton get a clean sheet, but unfortunately I did not. But I think West Brom deserved the point, and in fact they could have won the game last moment. Yes. And then once everything wrapped up on Monday, and the only game that was left was Burnley versus Spurs, my captain had already played, and most of the people in my mini leagues and throughout the world had Son or Kane or both of them, and had captain Son or Kane. So I was really afraid of that. And although I had Son in my team, he was not the captain, and people had Kane as well. So fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure. I don't know what would have been the rank if Son or Kane had not played, I think I would have been up by, let's say, 100 or 200k. But yes, Son did get a goal. Kane again got the assist. So that is something that is again based on luck. Yes, but I was happy that Son got me some points and I got above average. So yes, these were the standings for game week 6, and let's move on to the next game week and discuss that. So right now, as you can see, my team, I have already made my transfer. Last week I had Van Dijk who's out for the season, and I brought in Ailing from Leeds United. I wanted to free some funds and I wanted to have a look at Kane, so I needed some money in that terms. Then going so in goal again, I have Pickford. I don't have any other option. I hope he does something. He gets a clean sheet, but again, it's an away match with Luca Digne out, Seamus Coleman out for Everton as well. So I am not expecting a clean sheet to be honest, but if he does, that would be a miracle. Then I have Romain Saiz against Crystal Palace at home. So now there's a confusion amongst the FPL Twitter community where whether Saiz is going to play or not, because the left wing back position right now is occupied by Kilman, it's a 4.2 million defender, and Marsal, who's a new player, Wolves bought, also fit now. Whether Saiz goes back to the left centre back position or and Marsal comes back on the left wing back, or whether Marsal absolutely replaces Saiz and Saiz is out from the team. Personally, I don't think Saiz would be out from the team because Kilman is a new kid on the block, and the manager Nuno Espirito Santo tries to have a very stable team, and he would like experience at the back. So I think if Marsal is playing, Saiz would slot back into the left center back position. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Right now, I'm keeping it playing 11 because he has a really good chance of keeping a clean sheet if he starts. Uh, but going forward, I definitely replace him because if you see the fixtures, you can see after Crystal Palace, it's Leicester City away, Southampton at home, which is again, at least this season, it's a tough fixture. Southampton is good forward. Then Arsenal away, Liverpool away, Aston Villa home, Chelsea home. So until game week 3, 13, in fact, game week 16, you don't see them having a good run of fixtures. So it's good if you want to replace him and you have a plan for that, that is absolutely fine. But after that, after game, like from game week 17, you do see a run of fixtures apart from Chelsea and Arsenal, which is again at home. So that is something that can have a look at. But at least for this game week, he remains in my team. I'll probably ship him out next week, or at least I'll try to ship him out if there's no other injury in my team. Then Ailing is someone that I plan to keep again for a long time. It's like Justin or maybe Lamptey because he's an starter for his team. He's the captain of the team, and if Cooper is not playing, so he's going to start every match. And Leeds United do have a tendency. Leeds United does have a tendency to keep clean sheets. So even if you look at the fixtures, they might not be that appealing. For example, Leicester home, Crystal Palace away, Arsenal home, Everton away. But if you go forward, you have some fixtures where there's ranking 2, ranking 3, FTR rankings. So I'd like to keep him in my team for a long time unless he's injured again. So now with the third defender, either I can play Mitchell or I can play Justin. I don't want to play Lamptey because it's against Tottenham at Spurs home and with the kind of form Son and Kane are in, right? So I am not sure whether he would be the right guy to starting in my teams. I'll either go for Mitchell, and if he does not start Mitchell, then I'll have Justin in my place, Justin in his place. So that that was about the defenders and the goalkeeper. Now moving on to the all important midfield where all the points will come from. So I have Son in my team, Salah, Rodriguez, and us and Rashford. So all of them have favorable fixtures, especially Son and Salah. Both of them at home, they are in good scoring form. They're taking shots, and I expect them to score big in this particular game week. Rodriguez depends on whether he's fit, because in the last match he was not that. He did not seem his natural self, say the least, and he was not. How should I say? Rodriguez was not up to the mark in that game. So let's see if he's fit or not. Then probably I'll have to make a change, or I'll probably bring Podence in from the bench. Then Rashford is again my differential. A lot of players have Sterling, Fernandes. So right now he's my differential. If he works, I can really gain on my mini league rivals. Otherwise, if he fails, then again I can have a lot of red arrows in all of my mini leagues. So yes, I'll try to. I wish that he works for me. And since I'm a United fan, there's a soft corner for him as well that I really want him to do well. Let's hope for the best against Arsenal. Then in the attack, I have Calvert-Lewin, who had the first blank of the season last game week. Then Bamford coming off a hat trick, and Jimenez, who's scored in the last two games, second half, in fact. So Wolves are turning out to be a second half team more or less. So this is my playing 11 right now. My captain is Son, and my vice captain is Salah. This could change and become vice versa. And right now, I am stuck on Son. In my head, I feel Son would have a better game week than Salah. But there's another transfer that I am looking for. That would be Harry Kane in place of Jimenez, because I'll turn on the fixtures for Tottenham. So if you see these next two fixtures, Brighton at home and West Brom away, these fixtures are like too good to ignore. And in fact, in the third, both of these, Harry Kane could be easily be a captaincy option. So I want Harry Kane in my team for these 2 weeks, but after that he has tough fixtures, and I am not sure whether I should keep him for those fixtures or not. So but I'll have to take a hit for that, and in place of Jimenez, I'm really looking. Uh, I'm looking forward to bringing him in, because otherwise I might lose out on my mini league rivals as well. So that is also a concern, and it can help me get up the ladder. So, but it entirely depends upon the Europa League fixtures on Thursday as well, whether he starts. Most probably he will not start that game, and he'll for the Premier League. So yeah, I'm thinking of getting him in my team as well. Some of the other players that I feel you can look at in terms of transfers, Jack Grealish. So I understand he did not score in the last two game weeks, but against Leeds United, he had a really good. So he had a really good game actually. A particular his shot was blocked off the line from Ailing, and he had a mazy run in all the defenders and had a shot blocked from the keeper. So Leeds United as a team had a good game as well, but otherwise he was always getting in dangerous position and scoring those points. If we look at the fixtures as well, so just one game against Arsenal, that is probably tough defense wise, and that too, like Arsenal you can score a goal, as we saw Leicester City do that. After that, he has a lot of fixture FTR rating fixtures, three until game week. All these fixtures, Grealish can get points, and with Podence out, right? So I can either get Grealish in or Ross Barkley, who's the more closer to Podence in terms of the price range, but he has similar fixtures and he can get some points. So I would suggest getting Grealish in as soon as possible. Want to wait until after game week 8, that is also fine. I would probably do that. I'll wait after. I'll try to get him in game week 9. But yes, that is something that I'm looking at. Another transfer that people are looking at is Wilfred Zaha. Uh, Earlier seasons, the previous seasons, he used to like he flattered to deceive. To be honest, will score in like initial 2 or 3 games. After that, he will not. In this game, he has already scored 5 times in 6 games, and he has got returns in four. He has got attacking returns in 4 of them. And if you look at the fixtures, like really, really good fixtures again against Wolf, probably not that good. Against Leeds, Burnley, Castle, West Brom, like these 4 fixtures are there for the taking, and he can score a goal. So if you have a slot probably in terms of James Rodriguez, if he's not firing, let's see for a game week or two, not firing, you can replace with him and save on some funds. And Zaha is also a Zaha is also a great player that can be brought in your teams. In terms of goalkeepers, I would still say Martinez is the best bet right now. But and if we see at the fixtures again, like just like really a lot of green there, so at least till game week 5, there are chances he can a clean sheet. But McCarthy from Southampton is also gaining traction. I believe that is something that that you can bring in. Look at the fixtures, although not that great fixtures, but I would not say bring him in. But if you have him, I would say you can keep hold of him until he blanks a lot. So those were the transfer targets that I wanted to discuss. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you and have a great fantasy weekend.